Here we go. Here we go. Let me make sure we good. All right. All right. All right. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what time it is. And y'all know who y'all looking at. Welcome to a new episode of Club Pizzle. I am, of course, your host, Don P. Pizzle, Unk, all that good stuff, man. Thank you guys for your continued support of this platform. Thank you guys for your continued support of this podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the show. No matter where you are, no matter where you on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Spotify, like, share, and subscribe. I really want to push everybody to YouTube because I'm not anybody. Y'all can talk. Y'all see me outside. But before we get into today's show, want to thank everybody for tuning in to Tuesday night's main event this past Tuesday. You know what? I'm not about to do this. I gotta be comfortable, y'all. I gotta be comfortable. I gotta be me. So this is temporary. But thank everybody for tuning in to Tuesday night's main event this past Tuesday. I love y'all's feedback. Continue to give me the feedback. Like I greatly appreciate it. As far as next week goes, there will be all shows next week. There will be a Tuesday night's main event. There will be a Pizzle's Picks, and there will be a Club Pizzle. I am going to pre-record them this weekend and next week because next week I will be out of town. But like the beginning of next week, I'm gonna record them and I'm gonna get them all out of the way. I'm letting y'all know right now they are going to be pre-recorded. I will be having Tuesday night's main event, you already know, man. I'm gonna be recapping Bash in Berlin. I won't be able to do NXT because it's gonna be on Tuesday. So those predictions, I may or may not get into that when I come back the following Tuesday. Pizzle's Picks is going to be a full slate of college and pro picks. Make sure you guys sign up for both Pizzle's Picks. The college picks lock this Saturday. I'm gonna lock the room on Saturday because if you don't get in week 1, you will not have a chance to make up 10 losses. That's just not gonna happen. Miss a week, you might as well just chalk the money. And the NFL picks lock next Thursday. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know that. And I'm also going to have my NFL predictions on next week's Club Pizzle. Y'all like this background? This is pretty cool, huh? I'm trying to give y'all something different. Y'all see in the corner there. Which way am I pointing at the camera? See, I'm starting to figure that out. See that? I got the Club Pizzle logo there. I didn't like the way it looked in my background. It looked kind of funny. It looked a little funky. Shout out to T for the logos. But I've been looking and just messing around with a bunch of different backgrounds. I had one last week. I did something for Tuesday night's main event. I'm gonna continue to do these, and eventually I will post the pictures and I'll let y'all pick one. I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 of them. I'm gonna have a different one next week. I might keep this one up for a couple of weeks. I like this one. This is pretty dope, huh? Like it's a little bar setting. Some of them like special certain events I will have like an arena or something like that. For Pizzle's Picks with football season, I am gonna leave the football stadiums back there. I do hope y'all like that. I'm just doing some new things. I'm just working on some new stuff. Also, yes, the good news is real. Yes, I am moving out of this freaking house. Thank the Lord. Yes, yes, yes. I'll be moving in a month, but I am still going to be giving you shows. And when I move into my new space, I'm going to be experimenting with sets and stuff like that. So y'all just won't be looking at me sitting at my desk. Y'all might actually see the full desk. Y'all might see, like, I have some shelves behind me. Y'all might see bobbleheads and Funkos and a bunch of different stuff behind me. Y'all might. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but I'm gonna be playing with a bunch of different set designs. Y'all will be able to see my whole outfit and not just think that I'm just up here in a t-shirt sitting out here looking like Winnie the Pooh. Had to throw that in there. Yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Moving into a new space, a better space, like a better another house with much more room. Me and the wife talked about it. It was like, look, let's just go and get a house. And I've been chasing this thing for a few weeks, and we got it, and we made it happen. So yeah, man, I'm gonna be getting that situated. Um, I think that's about it. Shout out to my gang at Battleground. The Battlegrounds just went down this past Sunday at the Grog Shop. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna talk about that. Congratulations to Big Vonnie for coming up with the win. He defeated three-time champion Cass the Artist. Shout out to Cass the Artist, who is absolutely positively dope. Defending that championship in that setting is not easy. The After the Battle podcast is going to be coming up. I think it's going to be two filmed. One of them I know I'm not a part of. But shout out the gang. Shout out to Mr. Shredder. Shout out to Timbuktu. Shout out to Don Prince. Shout out to DJ Verve. Shout out to Flight Life Bees. That is Battleground Gang. Also, shout out to our special guest judge for this week, my guy DJ Jack the Ripper. Shout out to him. Shout out to all of the competitors. Another programming note: just be ready and keep your ears open because I am going to do something in this city that has to do with the hip hop culture. Like, I do Battleground, I've done music. Oh, I did perform Sunday, did my thing. And that might be it. I don't know. Who knows? You might get a Pizzle and Friends next year or at the end of the year. Who knows? I don't know what the hell. But yeah, just be looking for. Just be looking. I'm gonna be doing something. All right, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. We are here for a good time and not a long time. Let's just get into some Browns stuff. It is football season. We just gonna jump into the Browns. They announced their initial 53, and I'm so glad I didn't record this yesterday like I had planned on recording it because stuff happened this morning. Quite a few things actually happened today, which usually happens to me. The podcast guys, the content gods always seem to be like, no, 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 no. So I had to, like, I had this idea of how I was going to run through this, but I can still run through it a little bit. But the initial 53 was announced. It was not the final roster, and I knew it wasn't going to be the final roster. I knew some moves were going to be made. A lot of guys came off of injured reserve. Conklin's back. Jed Willis is back. Denzel Ward is back. Those are the key guys. Like, everybody that you could think of that was injured during the preseason, with the exception of Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is out for the first four. They put him on the PUP list, which, am I surprised? Yes. I mean, no, I'm not surprised. He got injured in week 2 last year. Like, rehabs are rehabs. And the thing about rehabs is you can't rush them. So, yeah, give him another 6 weeks to get himself together. That's fine. Totally okay with it. But everybody else that you can think of, Jed Willis, Jack Conklin, are back. Conklin did practice. I'm not sure if Jed practiced today, but I know he didn't practice yesterday and the day before. So they're not going to start on the PUP list, but Nick Chubb is. Mike Hall was put on the commissioner's exempt list. As of me recording this, I don't think I think he's still on that list. They initially kept 4 quarterbacks: Watson, Jameis, Thompson Robinson, and Snoop Hunt. Today, they released Snoop Huntley after not being able to find a trade for him. And I kind of figured that's what Andrew Berry was going to do. Listen, I trust Andrew Berry. I am never going to question the dude who did salary cap management as a 9-10-year-old just for the hell of it. I'm not going to question that. I'm going to trust him in what he's going to do. So we're down to our 3 quarterbacks for the year. Deshaun Watson is our starter. Jameis Winston is the backup, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson is the 3rd quarterback. You have to keep 3 quarterbacks on this roster, especially after what happened with this team last year. It's a safety move. It's a precautionary move. Get your guys and roll with it. Maybe at some point, and God forbid anything happens to any of these guys on this roster, Snoop Huntley can be back, or I don't think he's a practice squad guy. I think Huntley's going to end up on another team. That's just me being honest. New England could use him. He could end up there. Who the hell knows? 3 running backs now. They initially kept 2, Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong II. Nick Chubb is on PUP list. Nyheim Hines is still out. Almost forgot that we had Nyheim Hines. There's no timetable on when he's going to come back. Do I want to guess that they'll pull him going into game week next week, pull him off the list on a Monday? Who knows? But right now it's Ford, it's Pierre Strong, and they brought Dante Foreman back, which I think a lot of people kind of knew what was going to happen. I really want to sit and talk with one of these general managers and say, like, as far as the injuries, like, do y'all know, like, especially in the preseason with some of these guys, the guys that you know are going to start, they are going to come off that. Like, they're going to break camp, and they'll be back by the time the regular season starts, or they're going to make the initial 53 or the final 53. I want to ask them, like, is that planned ahead of time, or do y'all just go day by day? I want to know, because it seems like I think it's already planned out. And also happened this morning, Deshaun Watson's contract has been restructured. It's like he was to make 44 million this year, or 47 million this year, and like 44 of it or 45 of it was turned into sign-up bonus money. So his base salary is going to be like $1.5 million or $1.7 million or something like that. Listen, as long as Andrew Berry can do this, he's going to do this. Before I get to what I want to get to next, that gives the Browns $62 million in cap space now. He cleared like 36 by doing this restructuring with Watson. But all of this, a couple of things here. All this does, I don't need these headphones. I did 15 minutes with the headphones. Y'all be proud of me. This $62 million in cap space is just nothing. It puts them right where they need to be as far as rolling over into 2025's salary cap. And also, this means Deshaun Watson ain't going nowhere, because the cap hit for the next 2 seasons is like 72 million and 72 million. Untradeable, uncuttable. Like it or not, Browns fans, Foe gonna be here. So you might as well buy the jersey, because he's gonna be here. I don't know how else to put that. The practice squad. Let me find that practice squad. I do want to get that up. I do want to discuss that, because with the new rules, the practice squad is 13. It's up to 13 people or 13 players. Oh, come on. I'll do that later. Um, and they added 5 to the practice squad today. Dante Foreman was signed, and they added 5 to the practice squad. Gary Brightwell, Mike Ford Jr., Tulu Griffin, Cameron Latu, and Blake Whiteheart. They released Rex Sanhara from the practice squad today. And also in other moves, if I can find it, where's the freaking news? I'll just tell you who the practice squad is. Juwan Biggs, Tony Brown II, Jalen Darden, Chris Edmonds, Justin Hardy Sr., Jermaine Afidi, Sam Kamara, Roy Batika. I think that's how you say it. James Prochet, Winston Reed, Lorenzo Thompson, Michael Woods. All of these guys are on the initial practice squad, and they made that move. Now, as far as with Denzel Ward coming back, I do want to speak about that a second. And I did say something about it last week, but that was just me saying, like, y'all talk about people being injury prone, and this dude is always injury prone. And this week I'm gonna come off of that, and I'm just going to say that he has had 5 concussions in his career. 5. He got drafted in what, 2017, 2016? This is his 6th year, 7th year. He's had 5 concussions in 7 years, y'all. That's not good. And this last one, he got a concussion in practice wearing the little safety cap bubbly thing that they wear on the top of the head. If he's getting concussions that easy, he's going to have to be careful. He might have to change his game up. Moving him to safety is not an option. He's too small, and like him dipping his shoulder, like it was always something. But I am glad that he's back. I am worried about him and those brain injuries and getting concussions. 5 concussions in 7 years is nuts. As great as Denzel Ward is, I know he is absolutely fantastic, y'all. He's one of the best corners in this league. But at some point, the next concussion may force him to retire. I know they have more safety measures in place. But if the concussion is happening with the cap on, come on. Wishing him health this year, and he is back, which is great. And finally, on Brown stuff, before I get to my other Browns thing that broke today, the team captains were named: Denzel Ward, Charlie Hugett, Myles Garrett, Deshaun Watson, and Joel Bitonio. It's not surprising. Y'all know how captains work. I don't have to explain that. I've seen a few comments where people are like, why is this person not a captain, or why is this person not a captain? Why is Deshaun a captain? Because he's a fucking starting quarterback and highest paid player on this team. And the guys in that locker room absolutely love Deshaun Watson. Oh, I knew it was another thing I wanted to talk about. Brandon Ayuk just didn't want to come to Cleveland. They offered him the money. He just didn't want to come. Oh, well, good luck getting your money. And I'm glad CeeDee Lamb signed his contract and got all of that money. Now John Lynch can go to the bathroom and act like he got a boo-boo. Along with Mike Brown in Cincinnati, who's still in the bathroom boo-booing. And now Zach Taylor is in the fucking bathroom boo-booing because he said, oh, Jamar Chase is going to be ready to play week 1. So why the fuck is Jamar Chase showing up to practice late and in street clothes? He's not playing. Maybe that'll change next week. But it looked like Jamar Chase called cap on all that stuff he said. So the Bengals and the 49ers are boo-booing right now. Hey, get the fuck out the bathroom. Oh, I absolutely positively love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that you have been waiting for. My college football prediction. I'm only doing the power conferences in the group of 5. I'm just going to tell y'all who I think is going to be the conference champion. And I am going to reveal my 12-team playoff. I will run through the bracket and we'll see what's what. Did any of y'all decide to do a bracket? Probably not. That's okay. I'll do one for you. Let's start in the ACC. Who's going to win the ACC? Now, I've been very, very quiet on the college football front, but I plan on being extremely loud this year. And I'm talking about with everybody. I just like this era of college football. Everybody can be loud now. With a 12-team playoff, you can lose a game and be okay. You can lose 2 games and you can be okay. So every single, whoever you root for out there, be plenty loud. My ACC champion is the Miami Hurricanes. Was there ever a doubt? Finally, got a quarterback that can put up big numbers. This team is going to score a lot of points, and they're going to beat the shit out of a lot of teams because teams might not be able to keep up with them. Quarterback is in place. Finally, a good quarterback. Not Malik Rozier. Not fucking Ja'Cory Harris. Not N'Kosi Perry. Tyler Van Dyke, who I thought was the one. I thought TVD was going to be the one. Running backs. Finally got the offensive and defensive lines together, or the offensive line. The defensive line was cool, but the offensive line is together. It's one of the best lines Miami's had in a long time. So Miami's going to win the ACC. I think they'll beat Clemson in the ACC championship game, and Florida State is proof positive on why preseason polls need to be banned. There should not be a preseason poll. The poll should come out like 4 games into the season. Come out like week 5 or something like that. Or put them out like the polls can come out for like the AP and the coaches poll. Y'all can put y'all polls out like week 4. Preseason polls are shit because they never usually pan out the way that, like, it's silly. Put out the AP and the coaches poll like after week 5, and then I guess what is like week 8 when they put out the first college football playoff rankings. I think that's how that should be done. Moving on. Florida State, you suck. Woo. Shout out to my dude, Warren Turner. He's sick of me. He been sick of me. And shout out to Chris Cargile for putting us in a group chat just to pop shit at Florida State losing to Georgia Tech. Went all the way to Ireland to lose to Georgia Tech. But anyway, back to it. The Big Ten. Ohio State. No excuses this year, Ohio State. Best roster that you guys have had. And y'all have had some rosters. Ohio State has had some great teams for the last 7 years. Look at the NFL draft. Look at the NFL. Look at the wide receivers that come from Ohio State that is in the NFL right now, and they balling. We're going to be balling. Terry McLaurin. Michael Thomas was balling for a while. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Marvin Harrison just got drafted. There's some guys coming that are better than them, or probably better than them. Will Howard at quarterback. I think Will Howard has a few games to prove himself in Chip Kelly's offense. And there's another. You got Chip Kelly to run the offense. Ryan Day, your days are numbered, bucko. If you lose to Michigan, If they lose, they can lose to Oregon and still get to the Big Ten championship game if they win out. But if you lose to Michigan again and not win a Big Ten championship and you flame out in the college football playoff, Ryan Day, your ass is going to get fired. And you can take the next big job at another school. Ohio State is not going to have you. Your replacement is looking right. Your replacement is right there in your face. Chip Kelly will be running Ohio State next year if this team does not at least get to the national championship game. Probably not a hot take and probably not a bold prediction. But Ohio State, this is your year. That schedule is what it is. But the Oregon game is probably the only game that you need to worry about early on. Everybody else, you should beat because you're more talented than all of them. The Big 12, I'm going to go with Utah. If Cam Rising is healthy, I got Utah. Colorado, I don't know, man. And I'll probably revisit this in the middle of the season. I'll probably come back to this and I might reseed and repredict. I do that in the middle. I can do a midseason. But right now I got Utah. Oklahoma State is going to be a contender. I've been hearing the experts talk a lot about Kansas. They got a shot. But that's pretty much it. I don't think anybody else is going to sneak up. Maybe Colorado, or we'll see what Colorado looks like. The SEC, I got Georgia. That's a team on a mission. Lost the SEC championship game, didn't make the playoff, and they responded by none of their players opting out and playing in the bowl game and proceed to beat the dog shit out of Florida State. And finally, the group of 5, I got Boise State. Their running back, Genty, is special. He could be the first running back off the board next year. Don't quote me on that. He could be. Let's just throw that out there. So, my college football playoff will go a little something like this. Georgia is going to be the 1 seed. Ohio State is going to be the 2. Miami is going to be the 3 seed. And Utah is going to be the 4 seed. Now, I explained it to you last week, the 4 power conference champions. You have to win a conference championship in order to get a top 4 seed. Notre Dame can be the number 1 team in the country when all of the smoke clears at the end of the season, but the highest they can be is 5. That would be the highest that Notre Dame could be. They could be undefeated, number 1 ranked team in the country, but since they're not affiliated with the conference, they can't get the bye week. My 5, 5th seed, Oregon. 6, Texas. 7, Alabama. Yes, I got Alabama. All right, let me go back to Oregon. Oregon, Dylan Gabriel, hell of a quarterback, Heisman candidate. I think he's going to do enough to either beat Ohio State once, like beat Ohio State early and lose to them late, or play Ohio State close twice. That's what I see there. Texas at 6. Quinn Ewers is that guy. Texas got a lot to prove. Moving to the SEC, they're gonna be balling. Alabama at 7. It's still Alabama. They still got a bunch of 5-star guys. They still got a bunch of talent. And most importantly, they got Jalen Milroe, who's going to be a year better than he was last year. And he was starting to look better at the end of the season. The Auburn game, the SEC championship game, and in the Rose Bowl, he was cool. 8, I got Michigan. I got them getting in. I think they are the 3rd or the 4th best, 3rd best team in the Big Ten after Ohio State, and Oregon. Then you got Michigan. 9, I got Clemson. I think they are going to be right up there at the top in that game against Miami. I think they're probably going to both be hovering around. They're going to be hovering somewhere in the top 10, both teams. 10, I got Notre Dame. And again, that might change after Saturday. They play Texas A&M. They could lose that game. I picked them to win it. 11, Penn State. They're always hovering in the top 10, top 12, and they have been in the college football playoff rankings for the last few years. I think this is the year they finally get in. And with the Power 5, they're got like if they're out of the top whatever, they get the 12 seed, and I think Boise gets that 12 seed. They're gonna lose. Oregon's gonna kick their ass. They're gonna play Oregon. Oregon gonna beat their ass, and that's gonna keep them from even breaking anywhere. Now, if they beat Oregon, you got a whole different ball game, and then you got another. It'll be different with Oregon. So the first round of the college football playoff, it'll be Boise State traveling to Autzen Stadium to play Oregon, and I think that'll be that will be a rematch of a game that those two teams will play in week 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there before conference play starts. Boise State takes on Oregon. The 11 seed Penn State, they'll travel to Austin to take on Texas. Notre Dame travels to Tuscaloosa. Travel to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama, and Clemson will travel to the Big House to take on Michigan. Now, check this out, y'all. These round 1 games are played on campus. So Autzen Stadium for a playoff game, gonna be nuts. Texas is gonna be nuts. Alabama is gonna be nuts. And the Big House is gonna be nuts. So my predictions for those games, and I'm gonna just run through these and we're gonna get out of here. I think Oregon's going to beat Boise State. I don't think it's going to be close. I got Texas beating Penn State. I think Texas is going to they're going to lose a couple of games and trip up. They'll get hot. They'll run into hot Georgia. They'll lose to Georgia in the SEC championship game. But, and Georgia will probably be the only team that will beat Texas this year, if I'm being honest about it. Notre Dame at Alabama. I'm taking Alabama at home. That's going to be a hell of an atmosphere. That's going to be a hell of a game. And I'm going to take Clemson on the road to beat Michigan. That's going to be a defensive battle. And I think somehow Clemson will win that defensive battle. So the second round, they'll move to the neutral sites. It'll be Oregon taking on Utah, Miami taking on Texas, Alabama taking on Ohio State, and Michigan taking on Georgia. So those games, I am going to pick Oregon to upset Utah. I think Texas will beat my Miami Hurricanes. I don't want to say it, and I hate to say it, but I think they will. I got Ohio State over Alabama, and I got Georgia over Michigan in the rematch of the championship game 2 years ago. So the semifinals would be Georgia and Oregon, Texas, and Ohio State. How about that, right? Quinn Ewers, good to see you, buddy. Well, I'll take Georgia to beat Oregon. Georgia's the best team around. And in that Texas and Ohio State game, Quinn's revenge. I got in my national championship game, I got Texas versus Georgia. Ohio State fans, y'all could be mad at me. Y'all just joined the crew. Like the Miami people are going to be mad at me. Utah fans, if there are any out there, are going to be mad at me. Michigan, my Alabama family is really going to be pissed. Everybody's just going to be mad. But Georgia, Texas, championship, and my champion is the Georgia Bulldogs. As far as the Heisman goes, I got a list of my Heisman guys. Let's get to it. I thought I wrote them down. I didn't. Anyway, Jalen Milroe. I got Jalen Milroe for the Heisman, or Dylan Gabriel, or Cam Ward. for the Heisman. Will Howard has a shot. Quinn Ewers does have a shot. Carson Beck has a shot. He's on the number one team in the country. If he balls out, they might get it. Before I get out of here, I got some news. Something that broke while I was out and about doing stuff when I got off work. But our own Jim Donovan wrote us this letter, sent us this. Hello, Browns fans everywhere. Well, the regular season is finally here. Can you imagine the atmosphere inside Browns Stadium when the Cowboys and the Browns kick off? It'll be electric. It'll be epic. Unfortunately, I will not be calling the game on Browns Radio Network. I have called my last Browns game, and that's why I'm writing this to you. As many of you know, I have been dealing with cancer for many years. I've gone through every treatment imaginable, but my cancer is a defiant opponent and has returned, and very aggressively. This will require me to devote everything I have in me to continue the fight, and my family and I are committed to doing that. Golly, that sucks so bad. That hurts. It really hurts. He continues by saying, I've called Browns games for 25 years. Not a day has gone by when I haven't paused and been so proud to be the voice of the Browns. Cheryl, Megan, and I thank you for all the love, support, and prayers during my rough patches. It's like having a huge family around us, and that's what makes the Cleveland Browns so special. You do. So let's get those Cowboys and make this 24-25 season a great one. I'll be watching and listening. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. It's been an honor. Jim Donovan. I hate for it to go out like that or go out on that note. But just let me just explain, or just let me just talk about Jim for a minute. And if anybody can tag him in this, I just want to say thank you, Jim Donovan. You are a great human being. We met a while back. You may not remember me, but I do remember meeting you. I shook your hand, told you how much of a fan of you I was. Just think of some of the calls since 1999. Run, William, run. Chubba Lubba Lub. Is this how it feels? The only thing missing is you. Jim has had so many great calls. Jim Donovan has been a part of my life. He's been on Channel 3. He was on Channel 3 for as long as I can remember. Used to be him, and Chuck Galletti was there too. Chuck Galletti. But this is gonna be funny, man. I don't know who the voice is gonna be. At this point, I don't care. They will let us know who it'll be. More than likely, it's gonna be Nathan Segura, but I mean, he's been groomed for the spot for a while. But eventually, like, we'll get there to that. But back to Jim. Jim's such a great man. Again, thank you very much, Jim Donovan, for 25 years of calling Browns games since 99, bringing them back. He was on the call there. You're right there with Casey Coleman and the great Nev Chandler as this continue the tradition of great radio play-by-play people in Cleveland. You're right there on that mountaintop of guys just in Cleveland, period, with Tom Hamilton, Herb Score, Joe Tate. I think those that was it. You live in that space with those guys. So again, y'all, thank you to Jim Donovan. Get well soon, Jim. We are all going to be praying for you. We are all going to be fighting with you as you kick this cancer's ass again. Now, Cleveland Browns, if this is not a motivation, if this is not motivation for you guys to do this shit for Jimmy D, I don't know what it is. Again, thank you, Jim. Thank you for all of the years. Thank you for the sports reports on Channel 3. Thank you for 25 years of great Browns calls. You have been there through it all, from the comeback in 99 to the bad seasons early on, to making the playoffs, to dropping back, like everything you've been through. 0-16 to the playoffs twice in the last 4 years. Thank you, Jim. Again, thank you. And we are fighting. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap this show up. Again, next week, I am on schedule. I am going to be on vacation, but you will get shows. You will have Tuesday night's main event on Tuesday. You will have Pizzle's Picks and Club Pizzle on Thursday at its allotted times. NFL preview coming up next week. Divisions, playoff bracket, playoff prediction. I'm giving it all to you. Y'all know what it is, man. Always protect your peace and protect your energy. The message is more important than the messenger. And creators, be great. Stay positive, because negative energy is trash. You guys enjoy your Labor Day. Eat good. Have fun. I will be enjoying my 3-year wedding anniversary on the East Coast in Connecticut with my feet in some water. Peace out.